The Quiet Nights of River Hill, an emotional small-town story. River Hill was a small town in the northern part of the United States. People said it was peaceful, simple, and safe. They said it was the kind of place where life moved slowly, where everyone waved at each other, and where problems were small. But that was only the picture seen from the outside. Inside the hearts of the people living there, a different story was unfolding, one full of quiet pain, unspoken fears, and the heavy weight of memories no one wanted to revisit. 1. Logan Pierce, the boy with a tired smile. Logan Pierce worked at Maggie's Diner, the oldest restaurant in town. Every morning at 6 a.m., he opened the door, turned on the coffee machine, wiped tables, and greeted customers with a smile that looked warm and real. "Morning, Mrs. Campbell," he would say. "How you doing today, Logan?" she'd ask. "Oh, I'm good," he'd reply. He always said he was good, but he wasn't. Logan was 23. His father had disappeared from River Hill when Logan was only 11. People whispered that his father had simply run away. Some said he had joined a traveling construction group. Others claimed he had gotten into trouble. Logan knew none of those stories were true. He remembered the last night his father was home. His dad had been pacing the living room, talking in a low voice on the phone. He kept saying things like, "No, I told you I'm done, and you can't keep doing this." Later that same night, Logan woke up to the sound of a truck driving away fast. He looked out the window and saw the backlights disappear into the woods. He never saw his father again. People expected Logan to move on. But how could he? Every night when he walked home from the diner, he thought about that truck. He thought about what his dad was scared of, and why no one ever talked about it. Some secrets in River Hill weren't just hidden. They were protected. 2. Emma Jensen. The girl who waited too long. Emma Jensen worked at the River Hill Library. She was calm, soft-spoken, and always helped kids find books for school projects. People said she was the gentle soul of River Hill. But Emma carried her own sorrow. Her brother, Noah, had disappeared 5 years ago when he was 17. It had happened the same way Logan's father disappeared quietly and without a trace. Noah had gone out one night to meet a friend. He never came home. That night, Emma had heard the same truck Logan once described to her, a large, old truck with dim yellow headlights heading toward the woods. She told the police. They told her she imagined it. She insisted. They said maybe Noah ran away. But Emma knew her brother, Noah, would never leave her. Never. She waited for 5 years for a phone call, for a letter, for a sign. But nothing came. To stop herself from crying at night, Emma started writing letters to Noah. Letters she kept hidden in a wooden box under her bed. Every letter began the same: "Dear Noah, today I tried to be brave." And every letter ended the same: "But it still hurts." 3. Mayor Henry Callan. The man who couldn't sleep. Mayor Henry Callan had led River Hill for almost 10 years. People respected him. He was calm, intelligent, and knew how to talk to people. But behind the closed doors of his office, he was a man drowning in guilt. Because he knew. He knew why people disappeared. He knew what the truck was. He knew what happened in the woods. And he knew he couldn't stop it, not alone. Henry had made a terrible decision years ago. A decision he told himself was for the safety of the town. But every night, when the town slept, he stared at his phone, waiting for a message he feared and hated. Delivery completed. Whenever he received it, he felt sick. He knew it meant another life had been taken away from the town forever. The secret he protected was eating him alive. 4. The night everything started to change. It was early October when things began to shift. The wind was colder than usual. The trees in River Hill had turned golden and orange. Pumpkins sat on porches, and the town was preparing for its annual fall festival. Logan finished his late shift at the diner. As he stepped outside, he noticed the streetlights flickering. Then suddenly, the entire street went dark. A power outage. The whole town was wrapped in silence, except for one familiar sound: an engine, slow, heavy, creeping along the empty road. Logan froze. That sound, he had heard it before. The truck. The same truck from the night his father disappeared. Without thinking, Logan ducked behind a mailbox and watched. The old truck moved slowly, almost like it was searching for something. Its headlights glowed faint yellow, cutting through the darkness. It turned toward the woods. Logan felt his heartbeat hammering against his chest. This time, he wouldn't just watch. This time, he would follow. Emma sees the light again. Emma was locking the library door when the power went out. She stood still in the shallow darkness, her breath visible in the cold air. Then she saw a light, soft yellow, familiar, the truck. Her heart twisted painfully. She hadn't seen it in years, but memories hit her like a wave. Noah, the night he vanished. The headlights through her bedroom window, the truck disappearing into the woods. Emma's hands trembled as she whispered, "Noah, are you there?" The truck moved slowly. She couldn't see who was driving. She didn't know if she was brave or foolish. But she followed the light, her footsteps quiet and determined. 6. Paths cross in the woods. Logan followed the truck through the woods, stepping carefully between branches. The cold wind cut through his jacket, but his determination burned hotter than fear. Ahead, he saw the truck, parked near an old storage shed the town no longer used. The engine was silent, but a lantern glowed inside the shed. As Logan moved closer, he heard another set of footsteps behind him. He turned quickly. Emma. Their eyes met, shock first, then understanding. "You're following it too," Logan whispered. Emma nodded. "I think it took my brother." Logan swallowed hard. "It took my dad." They stood in silence for a moment, hearing nothing but the rustling trees. Then a voice came from inside the shed. A voice they both recognized. Mayor Henry Callan. "No more," he said. "I can't do this anymore." Emma and Logan exchanged a look. Something big was happening inside. They moved closer. 7. The secret of River Hill. Inside the shed, Mayor Henry was arguing with someone. The voice replying was low, cold, and unfamiliar. "You promised," the stranger said. "A deal is a deal." "I'm done," Henry replied. "No more people, no more lies." "You don't get to decide that," the stranger growled. Logan felt a shiver run down his spine. Emma's eyes filled with fear, but also courage. They pushed the door open. Inside, they saw the mayor standing face to face with a tall man dressed in dark clothing. His face was partly hidden. Both men turned. Henry's eyes widened in shock. "Logan? Emma, what are you two doing here?" The stranger stepped back toward the shadows. Emma's voice shook, but she forced herself to speak. "We know about the truck. We know people are disappearing," Logan added. "And we aren't leaving without answers." The stranger smirked. "Looks like your little town is waking up, Mayor." Henry closed his eyes for a moment, pain on his face. Then the truth spilled out. Years ago, River Hill was facing bankruptcy. People were leaving, businesses were closing. The entire town was dying. A secret organization offered help, money, supplies, protection, but in return they demanded something terrible. Every few years a resident had to be surrendered. "No!" Emma cried. "You let them take Noah?" Henry's voice broke. "I tried to stop it, I tried, but I was too late." Logan's fists clenched. "Did they take my dad too?" Henry nodded slowly, tears in his eyes. "I'm so sorry." Logan felt the air leave his lungs. He dropped to his knees. Emma knelt beside him, crying softly. Henry turned to the stranger. "It ends tonight." The stranger laughed. "You think you can stop us?" But he didn't notice Logan standing again, eyes fierce. 8. A small town fights back. Logan grabbed a metal rod from the wall and held it like a weapon. Emma stood tall beside him. "This is our town," Logan said, shaking with emotion. "And we're not afraid of you." The stranger reached into his coat, but Henry stepped between them. "You won't hurt them," the mayor said firmly. The stranger hesitated for a moment. Then he realized something. He was outnumbered, and they were not scared. He backed away slowly, then ran into the woods. Henry collapsed against a wall, exhausted. "It's over," he whispered. Logan shook his head. "Not until we find the others." Emma wiped her tears. "We won't stop." "Not anymore." Healing begins the next morning. River Hill woke to a new reality. The truth came out. The deal was destroyed. The organization was exposed. Investigators arrived. The town united. People cried, hugged, apologized, forgave. Logan visited the place where the truck had taken his father. He didn't find him, but he found something important: peace. Emma placed her letters to Noah under her pillow one last time. She didn't stop missing him, but she stopped blaming herself. Mayor Henry resigned. He spent his days helping families heal. River Hill changed not by forgetting the past, but by facing it. 10. A quiet night, finally peaceful months later. Logan and Emma stood together on a hill overlooking the town. The stars were bright. The night was gentle, no fear, No secrets, no truck. Emma whispered, "It's finally quiet." Logan nodded. "Yeah. But this time, the quiet feels safe." She smiled at him. He smiled back, a real smile, not a tired one. In that moment, they knew something simple yet powerful. River Hill wasn't just a small town. It was a place of survival, of healing, and of people who refused to stay silent. A place where broken hearts had finally begun to mend, and for the first time in a long time, the quiet nights of River Hill were truly peaceful.